Those are the parties that end up as the freak off parties. It might not be documented here because, you know, that's too much money to lose. This is my theory. I don't think that we're going to see a lot of people go down with P. Diddy, specifically not someone like Jay-Z, because he still has a lot of use for the people in the industry. He still has a lot of use for those up top. But it looks like they have a very similar pattern of behavior. Now, you didn't answer the question. You don't have to if you don't want to. At any moment, did you personally feel that they could have had something going on? Jay-Z and Rihanna?
Definitely.
You can say alleged. Okay, allegedly, definitely.
Not allegedly.
Okay, definitely. Mm-hmm. See, I agree with you 100%. That's what I believe as well. And the people that reached out to you, they essentially made you cover this up. They, like you said, made you throw yourself on the sword and take responsibility for something that you weren't even the one 100% behind the rumor. They just told you to.
Right, they told him to say it just so it can be some sort of narrative, just to add to the profile of a Rihanna. You know, this was when she was like, you know, in her early years. Not necessarily her early years, but in her mid years in the entertainment industry, because this was around like 2014, 15. So obviously this, you know, she was a vet in the game, but still, you know, it's just one of those things where you can tell that it's like a celebrity thing, where it's like, this is a narrative. But in the undertone, it's true. It's a real thing. That's why they want him to cover it, because it's the truth. Jay-Z and Rihanna definitely had sexual intercourse, sexual relations. They had some sort of sexual thing going on. It's obvious. And not just Jay-Z and Rihanna, but Jay-Z and a lot of females in the entertainment industry. Diddy and a lot of females in they all just, it's just a big orgy. That's all it is in the entertainment industry. They all fucking each other. I mean, like, that's just what it is.
It on you. And if they say if it's all a rumor, then it's all a rumor. And everyone's going to go with that story because nobody wants to believe it. Nobody wants to believe that their idols are evil or their idols are doing anything wrong. So they're already coping and making excuses for it, even when the evidence is in their face. And it's a lot of people saying that Jay-Z, like you said, is next. Do you believe Jay-Z is next, though?
I do.
But in what sense? Do you think that they will allow a person like Jay-Z to be taken from his position? Because it looks like they're clearing Diddy's spot to give it to him.
That's a good point. But I think what you should look in and maybe flash the lyrics on the screen to that is the song that he did with Foxy Brown on his debut album, and which was in 1996.
Yes, Ain't No Nigga was released in 96, featuring Foxy Brown, of course, who was like 16 or 17 at the time, and uncredited vocals from Jazzo, who pretty much came up with Jay-Z in the early days. Jay-Z was one who was loved up as, I guess you could say, like some sort of quasi-pedo, just based off of his dealings with younger women in the industry in the beginning. Beyonce, Foxy Brown, Rihanna, Rita Ora, you know. And then when you listen to the hook of that song, it says, friends should tell me I should leave him alone. Then Jay-Z start laughing, haha, because of that play on him being the older guy. And, you know, the song is sampled from Ain't No Woman Like the One I Got from the Four Tops. And also that funky sample from 7 Minutes of Funk from the Whole Darn Family. So it's a dope record, obviously, but we already know it's something that's inappropriate and just way left. But when you was younger, you know, this didn't even cross your mind because you just enjoyed the music.
To that is the song that he did with Foxy Brown on his debut album, and which was in 1996. She was a minor, and listen to the content that a grown man is having with a minor, and just read the lyrics. It's "Ain't no player" is the clean version, and the explicit version is "Ain't no N-word." And this is an adult doing a song with a minor. I think she was 14, 15, 16 at the oldest. With that kind of lyrical content is absolutely crazy. You know, it's like, who would ever, you know, usually when there's kids around, you know, like as we're grown men, we're going to quit talking like that, right?
Of course.
Like the fact that he released his album that's still on his debut album with her as a teenager is crazy.
Yeah, and his relationship with R. Kelly.
His relationship with R. Kelly and
his
his relationship with Harvey Weinstein, who he was signed to, and his relationship with Diddy, which goes back to 1996.
even Nas, and you can say Nas was just dissing Jay-Z, but Nas specifically stated that Jay-Z and R. Kelly were doing the same thing with the same girls that were at the studio together, you know, and that's a strong accusation. But let's be honest, it's like what they're saying now about Drake. Oh, Drake's into the minors. If you have been following Drake, Drake loves to rap about hooking up with 18, 19, as young as he can. That's what he legally states. But if you're aiming for an 18-year-old at 36, you're not going to compromise at a 17-year-old, a 16-year-old. It wouldn't matter. It's the same thing. What's the difference between a 16 and an 18-year-old besides the fact that they're legal? But they're both still teenagers, and they're both still extremely young and undeveloped, mentally at least, you know?
Okay.
And would you say that there's another P. Diddy in the industry or more P. Diddy's in the industry from your time at the industry?
P Diddy he's a one-on-one. Like the fact that we call him P. Diddy and, you know, Puff Daddy and Puffy and Sean Combs and all the different variations. He's a one-on-one with like his like level of freak offs. And his was like, he did it for so long because he's doing it out in the open. You know, he's got a 40-foot bed in his backyard and people are, you know, jumping on it. And he's having these freak off parties with like a lot of people involved. And then they got bigger and bigger. Like they found, you know, thousands of bottles of like lubricant, literally.
Baby oil.
Yeah. So like, I think he was just all out in the open. Like, you know, I can do whatever I want. I think the other people that are doing it are much more careful, much more calculated, and are much more wicked.
And that's the overall point right there. They're all doing this. And this is someone who's credible. You've seen pictures of him with celebrities. He's associated with celebrities. He's a high-level publicist. And he had a falling out with certain high-profile artists like Drake. So it's important for us to take things in consideration and understand how to contextualize. All of these people are doing it. It's just that certain people are meant to be targeted and highlighted.